Hi friends, welcome to Margi Newspaper Simplified. In today's video, we are going to see two important articles related to pandemic. Science Reporter magazine, June 2020. In that magazine, there were two important articles. First was Plant Wars and Pandemics, and second one, the Epic War on Pandemic. So these two important articles are there from this Science Reporter magazine that we are going to see in today's video. First of all, Plant Wars and Pandemics. Plant wars and pandemics, and in that case they are starting with one important fact. Discovered in 1892 yet still revealing its secrets in 2020, viruses are full of surprises. 1892 discovered, and then till now viruses are full of surprises. And then they are talking about SARS-CoV-2, that is nothing but novel coronavirus, and in that case it has in a span of months traveled to 185 countries worldwide. So June 2020, in the midst of that pandemic crisis, lockdown and all, so in that case June 2020, SARS-CoV-2 has in a span of months traveled to 185 countries worldwide. And after that they have used some words for this CoV-2. Matter of disgust, after that cunning manipulator of gene. So these words are used for this SARS-CoV-2. At first line of defense, what we can do then? They are talking about June 2020 as a first line of defense. What we can do? Then they are saying that we can choose to rely on the defense mechanism of plants, and how we should have this importance of plants in fighting pandemics. Now that is the core of this article. They have given some examples. First line of defense for SARS-CoV-2, how plants can be used. One example is chloroquine phosphate. Chloroquine phosphate, it is a structural analog of quinine. And quinine is very famous, originally extracted from the bark of cinchona tree, quinine. It have shown to alleviate symptoms and expedite the virus antibody generation. Now that is proven kind of thing. So on 17 February 2020, Chinese State Council announced it as anti-malarial and antiviral drug with proven regulatory effects on the immune system for this COVID-19. So this is also proven kind of thing. This is first example where we can see that plants can have, or plants can act as a first line of defense for fighting pandemics. Second is liquirose roots. Liquirose roots, traditionally employed against cough, cold and disturbed digestion, traditionally employed. Anti-inflammatory activities can be seen with this liquirose root, and it can be used in the treatment of liver damage by hepatitis B also. Liver damage, and it is proposed as a treatment for COVID-19 in combination with vitamin C also. So these are some example given: cinchona, the chloroquine phosphate, and after that this liquirose roots. So these two examples are there, and it is not the first time. It is not the first time that we are seeking help from plants for fighting pandemics. So this line is there, and after that they are entering into some other examples like antivirus medicines of plant origin has been resorted to during the previous pandemics also, like 2003 and 2012 SARS pandemic. For example, they have given some names here like Lycoris radiate, this is name of plant. After that Artemisia annua, this is also name of plant, which are having anti-SARS effect. SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, anti-SARS effects are seen in these plants. And against dengue virus also we have used a lot of plants. For example, Flavon bacillin, Flavone Baicalein, Flavon bacillin, this was used against dengue virus also. But on the other side they are talking about the general medicine practices, where they are saying that but in medicine, emergencies, even pandemics are never an excuse for shortcuts. We need to have proper drug development process in laboratories, and in contrast plant origin medicines and plant natural products which they are talking about are less clearly understood mechanistically. But still we are relying on these kind of plant origin drugs for, you can say, thousands of years. So yet these are used for hundreds or thousands of years with well established safe usage and documented side effects. So this is one side, that COVID-19 and how plants are helping us. On the other side they are saying that plant health itself is impacted. So while COVID-19 is affecting human health worldwide, pests and diseases are threatening plant health too. And in that case, Food and Agricultural Organization have given some data that 40% of food crops are lost to plant pest and diseases annually, 40%. And in that case, protecting plant health is very much important if we want to protect human health. So protecting plant health is thus vital importance for our food security, first of all. Second, our medicinal requirements, and overall the well-being of humans on this earth. And in this context, United Nations had declared 2020 as International Year of Plant Health. And the slogan of that particular event was very much important: protecting plants and protecting life. So protecting plants, protecting life, that was slogan of International Year of Plant Health 2020. So this was about the first article, where they have emphasized on the importance of plants in fighting pandemics. Second important article from the Science Reporter magazine, June 2020, was the Epic War on Pandemics. Epic War on Pandemics. And first of all, former Director General of WHO, Dr. Hiroshi Nakajima, former DG of WHO, they have given one statement here that we are standing on the brink of global crisis in infectious diseases. No country is safe from them, and no country can any longer afford to ignore their threat. So this is a statement given by Dr. Hiroshi Nakajima, who is former Director General of WHO. Each species, when they are talking about this pandemic, then each species is a thread in the close woven fabric of our ecosystem. And if this fabric is disturbed, in that case it can cause a lot of havocs. And from this point, they are saying that for most of the history, humans knew nothing about 99.99% of organisms on this planet. For example, bacteria, fungus, virus. So 99.99% of organisms, we knew nothing about that for most part of our history. And it was only in 1674 that the human eye first saw a microorganism. When Anton van Leeuwenhoek, very important person, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, took a peek through his homemade microscope, and after that he was startled to see an entire world of tiny creatures, Then after that, 1880s, Louis Pasteur, known as father of science of microbiology, Louis Pasteur, he was influential in development of vaccines, key figure in the development of vaccines. Louis Pasteur suggested that humans had the power to make parasitic maladies disappear from the face of this globe. Humans have that power, yet hundreds of millions have died after that. Hundreds of millions have died from infectious diseases after that till now. So in the past 3 decades, recent if we talk about, in the past 3 decades, as many as 20 major maladies have emerged in the novel, something which was completely new, more deadly or drug resistant forms. Now this is very important, drug resistant forms. For example, cholera, bubonic plague, smallpox, influenza pandemics, all these examples are given that in past 3 decades we are affected by these kind of pandemics. So some deadliest pandemics we should know then. What kind of pandemics were there in the past? First of all, plague pandemic, which is basically bacterial pandemic, and the name of that bacteria, Yersinia pestis, that is given in this article. So 541 CE, this plague pandemic first arrived in Constantinople, and after that it spread like a wildfire, across Europe, Asia, North Africa and Arabia, and around 30 to 50 million people died during this time. 30 to 50 million people. And after that it again resurfaced every 20 years from 1348 to 1665. 1348 to 1665, after every 20 years it appeared, and almost in these 300 years 40 such outbreaks were there. 40 severe outbreaks of plague pandemic were there during these 300 years. And 1665, Great Plague of 1665, one of the worst from these kind of pandemics, plague pandemic. So this was first example given. Second, influenza pandemic, which was viral, influenza pandemic. Spanish flu, we know it commonly, 1918 and 1920, Spanish flu. It is believed to have been caused by H1N1 virus with the genes of avian origin. Genes of avian origin were there, and it triggered a cytokine storm. Word is important, cytokine storm, in which younger adults faced higher mortality rates. Younger adults faced specifically higher mortality rates. And there is one data given here that World War I, 8.5 million casualties were there, and from that Spanish flu, 14 million Indians alone died. 14 million Indians alone died in that Spanish flu. Since 1980, we can see it appeared again and again. Then 3 influenza pandemics occurred. 3 times it occurred. 1957 it occurred, 1968, and recently in 2009 influenza pandemic occurred. So considering the probability that it can again emerge, influenza pandemic, another influenza pandemic is inevitable. This probability is considered, and then WHO has released global influenza strategy for 2019 to 2030. So 2019 to 2030 they have released global influenza strategy by WHO. Then third important pandemic during this history, cholera pandemic, bacterial cholera pandemic. 6 pandemics were there, cholera pandemics, between 1817 and 1923, 6 such pandemics were there, and with first such pandemics originated in India, cholera pandemic. And with respect to this handling of pandemic, it was the first disease for which modern public health surveillance and reporting was carried out in an organized way. So this was first such kind of pandemic. Then fourth one, HIV/AIDS pandemic. HIV/AIDS pandemic first identified in 1981 in Central Africa. Central Africa it was identified, and today it is estimated that nearly 37.9 million people are currently living with this disease. And from 1981, 75 million people are affected, and from those 75 million, 32 million people have died since 1981 from this HIV/AIDS pandemic. And it still continues to be one of the most serious pandemics in human history. So these are some examples of pandemics which happened in history. And then COVID-19 pandemic. After that COVID-19 pandemic, coronavirus. First of all, coronavirus, they have given some data that it were discovered in 1960s. COVs were discovered in 1960s, and their common host were camels, pigs and bats. Camels, pigs and bats were their common host. 2002 SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, it appeared in China and spread worldwide within a few months, and it was also contained quickly. 2012 Saudi Arabia, a new strain of coronavirus appeared, and it was found to cause MERS, that is Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, that spread quickly in 27 countries in that particular region. So 2002 and 2012 two coronavirus pandemics occurred. After that, 2019 COVID-19 caused by novel coronavirus emerged in the city of Wuhan, that we all know. Now related to this coronavirus, there are two important features of its spike protein. The spike protein which they are having, there are two important features that are given in this article. First is receptor binding domain. Receptor binding domain, which is basically a kind of hook, a kind of grappling hook that grips onto the host cell. Onto the host cell. Receptor binding domain. And then second important feature of this protein is cleavage site. Cleavage site, it is like a molecular can opener that allows the virus to crack open and enter the host cell. So these two are important features through which they can crack into the host cell. And in the end, they are talking about some conclusions then. Okay, for many of the diseases in the last 2 decades, there is no treatment, cure or vaccine. And this COVID-19 that makes us helpless is a glaring example of this. So what we can do to tackle this? Then they have given some important information that we should have a balance between the human health and animal health and plant health. So we should have a balance between these 3 things, and after that we need to maintain this balance for a long period of time. Because earlier we have seen that some pandemics are appearing again and again. For example, influenza pandemic appeared again and again, cholera pandemic appeared again and again. So it is having that potential. So we need to have a proper balance with respect to our ecosystem then. So this was second article, and then third important data in this Science Reporter magazine was given, rare viral zoonoses. What kind of viral zoonoses are there? That some names they have given. First of all, foot and mouth disease, FMD, very important, foot and mouth disease caused by foot and mouth disease virus, FMD virus, name of that virus, of the gene aphthovirus gene, and it is highly contagious disease affecting all cloven-footed animals, So this is first one, foot and mouth disease, viral disease. After that, Newcastle disease, it is one of the most economically devastating disease of poultry. So poultry disease is there. Chicken is the most susceptible to infection. with the affected flocks experiencing morbidity and mortality rates up to 100%. So this is highly critical kind of disease, and it has reported in humans also following exposure to large quantities of virus. Also reported in humans. Newcastle disease. After that, next important zoonosis they have given, zoonotic orthopoxy virus. Zoonotic orthopoxy virus. For example, some names are given under this orthopoxy virus, that buffalo pox virus is there. Buffalo pox virus, it is the cause of buffalo pox, a contagious viral disease which mostly affects buffaloes, but rarely it can also affect cows and human beings also. So it can also affect cows and human beings. Then camel pox, another virus, camel pox, it is a disease of socio-economic significance in African and Asian countries with indigenous camel population. And this was also found in humans. First human case of camel pox was found in India only. After that, monkeypox virus is there, monkeypox, with a case fatality rate of up to 10 to 17%. You are having this monkeypox virus. After that, there is another virus called as zoonotic parapoxy virus. Zoonotic parapoxy virus, and under that some diseases are given like ORF, ORF. It is a disease of sheep and goats. Human infections are acquired from the affected animals also. So it is also impacting humans. After that, pseudo cowpox is name of viral disease. It is a disease of cattle that is characterized by the presence of small raised sores and scabs on the teats and udders. So on the parts of cows, these kind of scars are there under this disease, that is pseudo cowpox. After that, vesicular stomatitis. Vesicular stomatitis, it is a viral disease which basically found in cattle, pigs and horses, caused by members of genus Vesiculus virus. After that, people who are in direct contact with such kind of animals, they are also getting infected with this vesicular stomatitis virus. And like that, they have given some examples, like these are various zoonotic viruses, zoonotic viral diseases. In the end, what they are concluding, that zoonotic diseases are here to stay. Zoonotic diseases are here to stay. Therefore, basic protective and hygienic measures must be taken while handling animals. This is very important, while handling animals. Even if the animals are apparently healthy, we should have some basic minimum measures to take while dealing with animals. Farmers at the field level must also be made aware. Creating awareness about the potential threats would help in striving towards the goal of One Health. One Health concept is very important, One Health, which is going to be future of healthcare in the world after the recent COVID-19 outbreak. So they are concluding with this COVID-19 outbreak, that after this COVID-19 outbreak, One Health is the basic framework which you should follow. So this is about the pandemic articles from Science Reporter magazine. June 2020 magazine is there, and this was about plant wars and pandemics, second epic war on pandemics, and some examples of rare viral zoonoses that are given in this magazine, Science Reporter magazine. So that's it from today's video. Similar kind of videos we will have in our next sessions. Thank you.